Hello and welcome to another edition of From the Helm. I am Lisa and this is Kelly, and today we are at MarineMax St. Petersburg talking all things service. And with us we have Mr. Jeffrey Saunders. I will let you introduce yourself to the folks. Tell us a little about you.
Hey everybody, Jeff Sanders. Glad to be here. Thanks for coming to see us today.
Thanks, Jeff. So tell me a little bit about exactly what goes on here at MarineMax St. Petersburg.
That is a very tricky question.
Loaded question, right?
A lot of stuff going on every day. It changes all the time, but we literally work on pretty much anything out there.
Okay. Yeah, and if you come here to MarineMax St. Petersburg, you see a lot of different boats out here. Definitely a lot of Aquilas. I think this is the Aquila hub for the United States, so a ton of Aquilas.
Yep.
So if you're in the area, of course, stop by. But today we're focusing more on service. So kind of just give us a brief overview of some of the services that you offer here at MarineMax St. Petersburg.
Again, we start from new boats, your first service, first tune-up, basic oil changes, spark plugs, gear lube. We work on diesel boats, stern drives, outboards.
The list could probably keep going on.
Keep going.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're going to take you on a tour later so you can see some of the equipment and the bays that these guys are working in, and it's really impressive. I know that there is a giant travel lift out there. What is the capacity on that? What can you haul out of that?
88 ton.
88 tons. So that's up to like a 70-foot boat, or?
Depends on the width more than anything.
The width?
We do have an 80-footer on land right now, so
Okay.
Really depends on the weight of the boat and the width of the boat.
Okay. So how about some projects that are going on downstairs? I know we kind of walked around a little bit earlier and there's some cool stuff going on. So what can people look forward to seeing, just some of the specific things that you're doing?
We do a lot of paint jobs. We get minor stress cracks. We do bottom painting, all kinds of electrical work, electronics upgrades. We do transom names on the back. We do C-deck flooring.
So basically, if a customer comes to you and says, I want this, you don't really often say no, right? There's usually some way you can make anything happen.
Usually not a no. It's usually, we have to decide what color and what kind of time frame and what kind of budget they're on. So we can usually find a way to accommodate them.
For sure.
Okay. So if a customer doesn't know what they want, but they know that something might be wrong, what are some common things that new boat owners might hear or might see that are indicators of an issue that they should maybe give you a call and have somebody come look at it?
Most boats have a built-in warning system. You might get an alarm. They all have temperature gauge or pressure gauges they can look at on the helm. That will tell you if there's an issue. If the owner's had the boat for a while, they're going to know when something's wrong or something's not right. They either feel a vibration, it may not be performing well, but they're going to know that something is out of the ordinary, and they should probably give us a call.
Very cool. And if you guys have any questions, any service-related questions, or just any questions in general about MarineMax, be sure to leave them in the comments section below during this live broadcast, or of course afterwards. And we'll have Jeff and his team and upcoming Bruce, any of those guys, answer any questions you may have.
Nice.
Sounds great.
So obviously giving a service center a call is a good way to get on the books. Are there any other ways? Is there a place on the website where they can submit their information, or is really just giving you a call the best way to get a hold of you guys?
Calling us is probably the best. A lot of my customers email. I give all my customers my cell phone so they can text me anytime. We do have online options for people to submit requests for that as well. And again, those go right to our cell phones, so we can be reached pretty much any time of the day.
Awesome.
Repowering. I want to talk briefly on repowering because it's a fun topic.
Okay.
What are some of the things that you see people asking for in terms of repowering their existing boats?
It's a mixed review, but sometimes people want to upgrade their current boat. There's really nothing wrong with their engine package. Maybe it's just old, or it's starting to, start to wear down, and they want to upgrade something different. Larger outboard, different brand of an outboard. Diesel engines, we can rebuild those. Some you can do in the boat, some you have to send them out. A lot of options with that, but we do have the capability of handling pretty much anything that anybody needs.
Okay, so is a repower just a new motor on the back, or is it utilizing what's currently there and just fixing it? Or
Could be a
rebuilding?
combination of both.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll have an internal failure where the engine, is really not worth fixing, and the owner can decide, do they want to rebuild it, do they want to replace it?
Sure.
We can kind of help with all those decisions, and depends on time and budget.
And of
Right.
course, when they really love their boat, but they see those new Mercury outboards coming out,
Absolutely. Yep.
they might want to get into that new 350 or
Yep.
300 and
Yep.
have fun.
I see
400
that all the
even.
time.
Yeah.
The
The
list
more
could go
power,
on
the
and on.
better.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the motor part of it, the power part of it. But what about the boat itself and kind of making over the actual boat? Because I know a lot of people hold on to boats for a long time. I mean, there's a trade in, trade up. Go bigger, but brands like we've talked about earlier, Boston Whaler, kind of hold their value, and you just might want to change out some of the fixtures. What are some things that people commonly make over on a boat?
Good question. We do a lot of paint jobs here, so you can. It's easy to change the color of the boat. You've got some scratches or some chips or maybe some dock rash or something like that. We do a lot of painting here on property. Change the color, add some color. We can do vinyl wraps, we can do graphics, we can do boot stripes, change out all the interior,
Okay.
change out all the electronics. It's really never ending. You can do pretty much anything that.
Well, when it comes to the paint, stay tuned because we're actually going to be checking out kind of the paint shop and where people can
Cool.
customize
Yep.
their boat in the future.
Yeah.
Very quickly here on this live feed.
We've got one going on right now, so.
Oh yeah. Well, and if you've checked out the MarineMax St. Petersburg YouTube channel or the MarineMax St. Petersburg videos on the YouTube channel, you can see a couple of those, including I think an Aquila
Yes.
recently was repainted.
We did the first one here a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago before the rendezvous. It turned out great.
It looked
The
great.
boat's here on property. Make sure you check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, and you guys check it out too.
Nice. Okay, so I know we've talked a lot about maintenance and service, but this location specifically is more than that. You offer marina, and what else can people find at this property?
This property is a little different than most marinas, most other MarineMax locations. We're equipped to handle a larger scale of problems. Very custom. We do a lot of custom work where some people might steer away from it. We accept a challenge. We're looking forward to trying to find a solution for people. We have boats that, been in an accident, caught on fire, sunk, vandalized. I mean, we
You name it.
get all those issues here, and it's up to us to figure out how to fix them. It's pretty cool.
Well, it's a beautiful location here, and in MarineMax St. Petersburg, it's a location that's close to a lot of people just in the Tampa Bay area.
Absolutely.
So just a great opportunity not only to get your boat worked on, to find a new boat, but also just boating right out here is
Yes.
pretty incredible too, right?
Yeah, the ICW's less than 10 minutes. You can be out in the Gulf in 15 minutes. Great location. Whether you're just going for a cruise, going for dinner, or just going to the beach, it's hard to beat this area.
No, definitely living on the coast is pretty cool. I have to say that. And then, there's definitely a big difference between saltwater fishing and freshwater fishing. Like right now, our northern stores are getting ready for winterization, and I know. Can you speak a little bit about that whole process and the differences between the freshwater and saltwater?
I grew up in a small town outside of Chicago, so I have firsthand experience with that. So freshwater, it's very clean, it's very forgiving. Every time I go home to see my parents and my friends, it's surprising how you got a boat that's 10 or 20 years old, still looks brand new. And the Florida sun and the salt water, the sun can be damaging. You got to take care of it, you got to keep it clean, wax your boat, keep the interior clean, keep it covered. But the salt water itself, the corrosion can easily get out of control if you let it. So.
Sure.
But again, that's where it all comes back to maintenance. So that's what we're here for. And some people don't realize, and they can ask questions, or we can help them keep their boat in better shape.
And what are some of the things that people need to know in those northern markets? I mean, people, lucky us down here being in Florida, it's going to be boating season all year round. But what are some things that they need to know in the northern markets in order to get ready for winterization?
Most people in that area, they have a good understanding of what they need to do before winter hits, but it's a good idea to have your boat winterized. You got to put fuel treatment in the fuel system, drain all the fluids, put some fogging oil into the cylinders. Each boat, each different type of engine may have different requirements, but it definitely has to be done before the temperatures start to freeze.
And that's kind of one of the benefits of MarineMax is you come here, you basically a one-stop shop to get that all done for you.
Yep. We do some winterizations here. We have customers that are snowbirds, so they buy a boat or they transport their boat up north, so we'll winterize them here, or they bring them down from up north and then we'll get them ready to hit the water here. So
that's cool. Winterization in Florida. That's kind of fun.
Yep. Don't get to do it very often, but it's cool.
So I do want to talk about the staff here. And earlier we were talking about how many certifications the team here has. What can you talk about with that? I mean, I know that we've listed a ton of them, and the team is just very impressive.
It is. We thrive on sending our guys to school, and we want to make sure that we're up for a challenge. We're constantly sending different technicians to training classes just to try to stay on top of things, and especially the electronics and some of the systems on the boats. They're very complex, and they're constantly changing, so we've got to make sure we keep our guys up to speed. But
it is incredible how quickly the technology is changing from what used to be mostly mechanical to now a lot of it is digital.
Yeah.
And just learning the systems and working on a computer to tweak what is the mechanical system.
Yeah, just in 3 to 5 years, I mean, things can drastically change, so it's hard to stay on top of it, but that's why we go to school.
Well, and of course, if you're out there want to get into the service tech industry, check out MarineMax. We always have opportunities for technicians as well.
Absolutely.
I think we have a question.
Yes, we do. So I did want to take a second and say thank you to Bob and Jennifer for tuning in right now. And then we do have a question from Nathan. He wants to know, what's the service that your customers request most often?
Ooh.
Good question.
This summer, it's probably air conditioning repairs. So
It's been a hot summer.
very hot. The water's been dirty. We've had a lot of storms. It's been raining almost every day for the past 2 months. The hotter the water gets, the barnacles grow faster. They can cause a clog inside the raw water system. So try to keep those clean, keep the strainer baskets clean, flush out the entire raw water system, keep the water flowing through, keep the AC on.
Yeah.
For sure.
And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the notes below, whether we're running live right now, we can take them live, or afterward, we'll get you with a service advisor, or, maybe we'll answer your questions. You want to know where I get my hair done? That's fantastic.
Well,
so
I think it's time. I'm kind of excited. I want to go for a tour.
yes.
Yeah, you guys need to go tour the
Jeffrey,
yacht.
it's been awesome. Thank you so much
You're
for your
welcome.
time.
Thank you.
We're going to go on a
Yes.
quick tour.
And we're going to have Bruce bring us on the tour. But before we do so, I have to make sure safety first. We're going to put our vests on here to make sure that we're highly visible in this area.
Yeah, can't hurt the
And
talent.
if I can figure out this puzzle real quick, we have Bruce with us. Bruce Laporta.
Hey, how you doing? How's it going, Nick? Nice to see you guys.
All right, Bruce.
You guys
I'm
ready to go on a tour?
Let's go on a tour.
I'll show you what we do here.
Okay.
All right, follow you.
Alrighty, let's go out over here.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
Thanks,
Thank you
Jeff.
so much.
Take care.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, you want to go?
We're gonna hold the door for our cameraman here. Come on out.
Okay, we're waiting for Nick, the cameraman. Nick's usually on the other side of the
Yeah,
camera.
Nick's
so-
usually in front of the camera.
Right. But anyway, if you just take a look at the Aquilas here, we're the Aquila hub for MarineMax. So the Aquilas come in here, but most of these boats are actually owned by customers.
Okay.
So, but we have a lot of the different Aquilas here. You can see the new bright white that they came
Yeah,
out with
wow.
compared to the cream color. The gray boat is down at the end that we just painted in the paint shop. But we have everything here. What I'll do is we'll walk out so you can see them
Sure.
up a little bit closer.
I see you have some 36s here. The Aquila 36.
We have a 32 out on the
32, the all new 32. Some
So
44s and 48s.
we actually have a 48 here that we're doing service in the back of the facility.
Sure.
But that's the only one that we do have right now is the one customer-owned 48 here.
They go quick. And as we've shown you, this is the hub for the Aquila line of boats, Aquila Power Catamarans for the United States. So if you want to see a whole lot of Aquilas, definitely come down to MarineMax St. Petersburg, where a lot of them are on display here. I also noticed we have an Ocean Alexander 70 Evolution.
Yep, we have a 70 Ocean Alexander here on display. It's actually a gorgeous, gorgeous boat. It really is. It's an amazing boat. I'm not sure exactly the top speed, but I know they're fast.
They're quick.
They handle really well. They have stabilizers built in. They have all the greatest and latest technologies,
Yep.
in the boat. But
And of course, you have a ton of Boston whalers, a Sea Ray here.
Absolutely. It's a 32. It's just an absolute gorgeous boat.
Outboard, which is quite a good market for that. So let's go check it out. Should we?
And before we head out, I know that we have a ton of different boats here, and especially Aquilas that are right in front of us. But Billy asks, what is your favorite boat?
Oh wow!
Bruce's favorite boat?
Yes,
on the
Bruce's
spot.
favorite
I'll
boat.
tell you. The Boston Whalers it's just incredible. I mean, they really, really are.
Sure.
Or if I had the money, I'd probably go with the 7008. But I'm
always a
probably
good
more of a
choice.
Boston Whaler guy. I
you
love the Boston Whalers. I mean, they're gorgeous boats. They handle real well. They just handle
They're
very, very
timeless.
well. Absolutely.
Yep.
And besides, you get them. We actually have one in the yard. It's a 1974 that we're refurbishing for somebody. So
Sure.
Wow.
they last forever.
Yeah.
They're just fantastic.
Speaking of
boats.
repowering or just keeping it maintained, right? I mean,
Yes.
1974, bring it to the shop.
1974. So actually, it's a pretty cool story because it's this woman that bought the boat, and it was her boat when she was a kid. Her dad sold the boat, and it took her a couple of years to find it on the internet, but it's actually her boat
Wow.
when she was a kid. Her dad
Wow.
passed away, and so she brought it here, so we're refurbishing it so it'll be just like it was when it was brand new when she was a kid.
That sounds like a great story
Yeah.
to tell too. So
Absolutely.
maybe stay tuned for that in the
Yeah.
future. We'd love to cover that. That's a
Okay, I'm
good
just
story.
going to walk
Yes.
down the stairs.
All right. And as you're coming down, you can kind of just get a quick shot of the yard just before we head down the stairs here. And this is the service yard here at the MarineMax St. Petersburg store. All right, well, Nick, you want to follow us down?
Sure.
So we have this large bay open here. Tell us.
As you can see in here, I'll tell you a couple of things. I'm really blessed with my team and also this building. I've worked for MarineMax since '96 before MarineMax was here at the Pompano location. Then I went down to the Miami location, and then I'm here. And Pompano has a building, but nothing like this. This building here, you can put boats with towers inside of it. We got an 80-foot Riva down there. That was inside the building.
If you want to come get a little bit closer here, Nick, so I'm sure you pick up some good audio. And so large Reba back here.
Now, inside the building, we have a 36 Aquila here. And this boat was ordered special without a generator. People want a special generator put in, so we're installing a different generator that normally comes with them.
Is that something that a lot of people ask for?
No. These people are going to be, and I think they're down in Belize. They live in Belize,
Okay.
and they want the specific generator, I guess, because it's easier to work on down in Belize. I'm not really
Hey, it makes
not
sense.
100% sure. But anyway, if they want it, we'll do it.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We have this covered area, so I try and get as many boats in here as we can to get out of the weather, so the guys aren't working in the sun or the rain. This formula here actually had a generator that failed and went on fire, so we're replacing the generator and some electrical wiring to it. I'm not really sure what's going on with the whaler, but typically if it's in there, we're doing electronic upgrades. We do a lot of electronic upgrades.
And just the amount of space here, as you can see, I mean, you can fit a lot of boats right in here.
Absolutely.
Of course, we're in Florida, so it's downpouring half the day in the summertime. Get them out of the rain and out of the sun, even too.
That's correct. I have lots of room out here. Out on the heart, we also have 8 service slips. The service slips are huge. They're 85 feet long. They're about 30 feet wide. So I usually put 2 boats in each slip.
Wow.
So makes most of the guys jealous for the MarineMax locations.
And while we're walking around, we did have another comment come in from Kelvin. Kelvin says hello.
Hey,
How you doing,
Calvin.
Calvin?
How you doing? Let's check out the paint location, if you don't mind. That's my favorite spot. Some really exciting stuff. As you'll see in here when we get in here, some custom paint work. I already blew the surprise, but I mean, you'll see when you get in here. It's pretty cool stuff.
Again, if you have any questions or comments, please drop them in below. We'll definitely make sure to get to them.
This boat was just purchased down in Fort Myers. It's a 2015 42. The customer didn't want a white boat, he wanted a boat with color. We had just painted a 37 Boston Whaler down in Fort Myers for a jade stone. And he saw that boat, he loved it. And so he brought this one up here for us to paint. So again, it's a 2015. Instead of doing a makeover on interior or anything, we're doing an exterior. So any color you want, we can make it anything you want. This would be jade stone. It's like a greenish gray. It's really a beautiful, beautiful color.
Yeah.
It's when you get it out in the sun, it just pops. It's gorgeous.
And what size boat can you fit in?
We've had 80 footers in here.
80 footers?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's 70 if somebody wanted to make a jade stone or any other color?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've had 77 azimuth here we painted, 66 azimuth.
Wow.
We've got a little 42 galleon outside that we painted blue.
Speaking of which, we would like to go check that
Sure.
out as well. The
Okay.
docks where the boats
Here's the service dock right here. Oh, this is my travel lift. Wow, forgot about this. This is, again, it's a 80-ton travel lift. We lift up boats up to about 80 feet with it. It's a 23/6 well, so I can lift a lot of boats very, very wide. Actually, we're talking about making it even wider than that so that it can accommodate the larger rekeelers when they come in.
Wow. That's
The
incredible.
machine is it's just amazing. Right now it has 2 straps on, but when we lift the big boats, we put 4 straps on it, and it'll do the work.
It really is incredible. I mean, the amount of weight that it can lift,
Absolutely.
carry, and provide you guys the tool you need to get your boat from A to B.
You know, I've been doing this all my life, and when you see a big boat get lifted up with the straps, it's just amazing that they can lift that weight. You'll see the tires are just about flattened out. They get about half the distance down, and those things hold 140 pounds of air. So when we lift the full load, there's 20 tons of weight under each tire. So
Very
That
cool.
is incredible. And I know that a lot of this stuff, your team actually films and they'll put on the Facebook page
Oh,
because
yeah,
I've
sure.
seen some of it myself. I'm really interested to see the bottom or the paint on the Boston Whaler, that jade green color.
the jade stone.
So I'm gonna,
Jadestone, yeah, you'll probably see that cruising around
Yeah.
the waterways of the Tampa Bay area very soon, I'm sure.
And
Yes. Alright.
I'll tell you, one of the things that my painters, the guys really take pride in what they do. So
Sure.
it's really hard to find that nowadays.
Yeah.
You know? And when I was looking at the last one we did, I mean, the thing looked absolutely perfect, gorgeous.
Yep.
And my head painter came out and he said, nope. He says, if you get the sun just right, and you just look at it, you can see some scratch marks in there. So they had to sand that down and buff it out, you know, but stuff I couldn't see.
Yeah.
But they demand perfection from themselves. And
Of course.
yeah.
that's amazing.
But
And if you guys, again, if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. And it
Yes,
sounds like we might.
We did have a question. It's from Gil, and it's actually about financing. But Gil, thank you for your question, and then we'll answer it just after this ends.
we do have a finance manager here, but finance is beyond me.
All right.
Come on
So
back.
check out the docks. And I do want to show off that galleon, because that's pretty impressive. So is this the docks? These are mostly docks for boats that are currently in service,
These are for
right?
service, yes. Starting with that dock there, all of these are service docks
Sure.
all the way down. So as you see, there's all different types of boats here.
Yep.
We work on just about everything. One of the things that I really pride myself on is having the guys that are certified. We have guys that are certified. We just became certified seakeeper technicians.
Yep.
So if you have a seakeeper in your boat and you need it serviced, we're the place. I know it's very, very hard a lot of times to find a certified seakeeper person, but we're it.
Excellent.
I've got 4 guys that are certified in just about every kind of marine air conditioning unit there is, so we fix all of those. We install electronics. I've got ABYC certified electrical guys, 2 of those. A regular ABYC boat yard, use my yard manager, so certifications are important. But this is the galleon down here, and this customer saw this color when he was over in Dubai.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And he wanted it. Now, as you can see, if you look at it, and I'm sure you can pick this up on a camera, the top looks a completely different color than the bottom, but it's not. It's the exact same color. It's just that it's in the sun and the shade.
Sure.
But it's just a gorgeous boat.
It is incredible, and it's definitely a showstopper when it gets out in the water, right?
Absolutely. He said, you know, he said he gets questioned all the time of what color it is, where did he get it, and, you know, so.
Very cool.
But that's his own, he picked that color himself.
Well, and
so.
I think that kind of just goes to show, right, that MarineMax is more about the service, or it's more about the sale, it's more about the events. It's all combined into one thing, right?
Absolutely. And it's really just to get the customers really happy and, you know, with their boats. I mean, you know, if you have a boat for 6-7 years or whatever, and you say, it's getting a little dull, it's what we can put a different paint job on it.
Like
Make it like a brand new boat again. If you want to upgrade your electronics, we can do that. I mean, all the newest technologies, the electronics are just, they're exploding with what goes on with them, you know? It's just...
We've recently done, I don't know if you guys seen the Captain Keith boating tips videos. We've done a lot of things with the Ray Marine team.
Right.
And just the Axiom systems and what you can do with that.
Right.
I mean, we're picking up coconuts in the water. You can see them in the middle of darkness.
Right.
So you know you're going the right way.
It's pretty amazing. It really is.
It's very cool.
You know? And I know you're talking about repowering, but myself, I own an older boat. It's a 1996 boat. And this year I just decided to repower because I wanted the new technologies of hooking up. I mean, I have a Simrad screen that tells you everything. It tells you navigation, hooks to the engine. It was great. But what happened to me is I found out that my transom was actually rotted. So I had to put a new transom in the boat. But we did that all here.
Yep.
And I guarantee you my transom is stronger than anybody else's out there right now.
I'm guessing you know some people in the business, right?
I do.
I gotta get that in.
And you know, so it's something like that, you know, where you say, oh my God, my transom's rotted. I don't know what to do. Bring it here. We'll fix it for you. That's what we do. We just about everything that you can think of. 70 Ocean Alexander, we had a customer bought one of those. And there's a bunk room as soon as you come out of the mast, or he wanted that bunk room made into an office.
I've heard that, yeah.
We made an office for him, you know. Made up this beautiful table that folds down out of the wall, put internet connections in and everything else like that. There's also, he wanted a TV up in his forward part of the salon.
So basically, when it comes to customizations too,
Absolutely.
I mean, hey, I have a room right now, a stateroom, but I want to have that more of a pantry, right?
We can do anything you want. Absolutely
cool.
anything you want. So
also, I would love to go over there, but it's like it looks like it's kind of down the stretch here, and a lot of people are working. But when it comes to you know, having slips to rent, how does that work for MarineMax St?
Well, we do have a dockmaster here. We actually have 97 slips here on property, so they probably rent out 90 of them. Well, I've got 8, so it's probably about 85 of them are actually for rent.
Sure.
But if you just call the main office at 727-343-6520, you can ask for Captain Chris. He's our dock master, and we can rent your slip. So we have slips that'll accommodate everything from, I think, 90 feet down, and then we also have lifts available. So,
and when it comes to sales and service, that kind of goes hand in hand. You know, your sales team work closely with the service team, correct?
Absolutely.
And
you know, it's one of my salesmen just gave me a call. He's got a customer that's interested in a 36 Aquila, but he doesn't want the soft top in there. He wants a hard top. So we're putting together a plan on how to close that in and make it a hard top.
Sure.
You know? And if it was a hard top, I'm sure the guy would probably want a soft top. But at least we can do that here. I mean, we can. We can do just about anything you want. We've had boats come in here with huge holes in the side. When we're done, you'll never be able to tell it was ever hit, you know? So we have a great team. I've got a great complement of people here. So
well, shout out to that team, because we know that they work hard here at MarineMax St.
And they do. And like I said before, I'm blessed with my team. I really am. I've got, you know, electricians, I've got carpenters, I've got fiberglass guys, I've got painters, bottom paint. I think I've got I got to tell you, I think I got the best bottom paint crew around. These guys, my head bottom painter has been at this location for about 25 years.
Wow.
And his parents came down here on a boat. They broke down. They stopped here to fix the boat. He's been here ever since.
Yeah.
And the guy's just amazing. I mean, he really is.
Like an artist.
He is. He can go up to a boat and he'll look at the paint, he'll smell it, sniff it, say, oh yeah, this is this kind of paint, you know, because a lot of times you can't put like a hard paint over a soft paint, so he'll know how to figure all of that out. And if you want a hard paint over soft paint, we know how to do that too. We have to sand it all off, put a primer on, you know, but I've got a fantastic bottom crew, I really do. A lot of the boats now on bottom paints, we've been spraying the bottoms with sprayers instead of rollers.
Okay.
You get a better finish, you get better coverage. 3M makes this new spray gun, and it's basically, it doesn't have any overspray coming out, and that was always the problem with that.
Sure.
The bottom paint's very, very thick, so we use it for spraying bottoms. We also use it for spraying gel coat, so if you need doing a big, large repair, we spray gel coat with that gun.
Well, that's incredible.
But
Well, and we do have to say, I mean, just shout out to the service teams across the nation for MarineMax. I mean, these guys work hard. They've been in the business.
Hard.
Been in the business forever. I mean, it's not a tough, or it's not an easy job. I mean, being out here in the heat and of course the north and the cold and getting the job done, right?
Absolutely.
Cool.
You know, I've been doing this all my life. I started when I was 16. I've done nothing but work at marinas, and I've really worked at one up in New York and MarineMax, and it was actually Bassett Boat Company before MarineMax. So,
Yes, definitely.
You know, so I've seen a lot, and again, we've got a great crew.
Very cool.
The guys work extremely hard in this heat.
Yeah,
It's
that's
right.
great.
it's
I'm
difficult.
popping up back in here. I'm sure everybody was
Well,
wondering
Lisa?
where I was.
She was filming for a while.
Yes, no, but thank you so much for giving us a
Oh,
tour
thank you,
and
thank
letting
you.
us
Yeah.
come visit you guys. The stories that you can tell about these boats, clearly we could keep going.
Absolutely.
So maybe we'll have to get, Captain Nick and the crew here at MarineMax St. Pete to do a continuation of this and
Yeah,
talk more about
definitely.
some of the stories that you
Right.
got going
And
on.
if any of you would like to talk to Bruce or Jeff or any of the team, I mean, definitely stop by MarineMax St. Pete. You know, anything that you guys are looking for in terms of service, sales, events. I mean, you guys always have a lot of events.
Yep.
Can be done.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And then
Absolutely.
MarineMax.com if you're looking for a service center near you. If you're not in the St. Petersburg, Florida area, we have locations across the country that have teams that have been trained, just like the team that Bruce has here.
Yep.
So we're definitely looking forward to helping you service your vessel, and we'll hopefully see you out on the water shortly.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Everybody
you.
have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye now.